Welcome back to another episode of Put It on the List. We're heading into the trenches today, breaking down the big DCU upcoming slate. Time to put your capes, your cowls, and your power rings on. We also watched some things and got some trailers, and we end things with our fantastic double feature. We got a packed show. Let's go! I'm Francisco, and I'm here with the only supervillain that matters, Andres.
Hola.
What's up, bad guy?
What's up? Not good guy.
I'm a great guy. Some people would say I'm a super guy.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah.
How's it going, man?
Good, man. I got some energy today. Man, my last episode when I was editing, I was listening to myself and I was like, yeah, there's this thing. Like, Mike, shut up, Andreas. Do something fun, cool. I didn't do it. The last episode, I was a little beat up. It's a little beat up. But this week, I got my copy literally next to me. So, woo!
That's good.
And I'm excited to talk about the DC stuff. And I'm curious on your thoughts. There's so many things. So, how are you?
I'm good, man. The storm that was here last week is gone, I guess. You could call it a storm. It rained a few days. Now, this week is back to beautiful. So,
Good.
Life is good, man. Can't complain. You ready to start?
All right, what do we got first?
All right, man.
News and tidbits. Woo! All right, go for it. What do we got?
All right, man. It's going to be a trending topic. Last of Us is everywhere.
It is.
It's touching everybody.
Yeah. Like the mushrooms.
Guess what? The ratings are up.
Yeah.
They continue to rise.
Yeah. I think word of mouth.
Surprise.
Yeah. I mean, because it just kind of gets better and better. And we're going to get into the episode 2 and 3. I'm so excited to talk to you because we haven't talked about those yet.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I gotta give us kudos for being able to, hold our shit together. Be like, hey man, did you see this?
Yeah.
Like normal, you know, but like, and then we're kind of like little assholes and we're like, oh, save it for the pod.
Yeah.
So by the time we start recording, we're like, oh man, I got all this shit to talk about.
yeah. Totally. I'm like, oh. Anyway, it's like I want to see what
that's cool.
We got stuff.
We got stuff to talk about.
So yeah, Last of Us reviews. I mean, the ratings rising. Dude, I think the show's gonna last, and they've already said I think season 2 is pretty much a done deal at this point.
Yeah, it sure is.
All right.
Yeah. What's next?
Here's a little something for you. This is breaking news. I didn't even put on the thing because I just wanted to like throw it at you. You might have seen, but there has been a Paddington 3 update. They are going to start shooting this year.
Are you fucking with me?
No.
Paddington 3.
It was supposed to be shot.
I'm looking at the document and I'm like, it's not here, dude.
I don't want to tell you.
Good one. Wow.
It was supposed to start shooting at the end of last year, but they had to push it because the director is actually the guy who directed the first 2 is directing the Willy Wonka movie with Timothy Chalamet. And
Chalamet.
So they swapped directors last year, and they're supposed to start shooting, but now they pushed it a little bit. So the guy who plays Paddington, the voice, says, yeah, they're going to shoot this year. It's all done. They're just kind of waiting to get the schedules together. So yeah, man, how excited are you?
Fuck. Oh man. To be honest, I'm excited for you. I guess I don't know. Can I be shocked? I don't know. I didn't watch the second one. I watched the first one, and I think I got it. So I don't know. A nice bear doing nice things in a family time. I got it. It's good. I mean, doesn't look great.
Second one's even better
to me, but
I don't know. Anyway,
second one's even better. Look at that.
Even better. It's adorable.
But hey, man, I'm happy for all the Paddington people. I wonder if they have a name. You know how you like certain fandoms have like nicknames. like Beyonce's people are like the Beehive and
Beehive. Oh, okay.
And
yeah, I don't.
They call it the Beehive, bro. Nicki Minaj is the Barbies.
Oh.
I think Barbies.
And
just... Taylor Swift is the Swifties.
Huh. Weird.
I think, I don't know.
Weird how I'm in none of those groups.
And one of the Paddington's little fan club is called.
Well, you let me know.
The Patties.
You let me know when you find out.
I just hooked you up right there. The Patties.
All right, we're the Patties.
Andy's Patties? I don't know.
All right, what else we got?
All right, man. Whew. All right. Let me try to bring this excitement down a little bit because it's too much to contain.
Is it?
All right, man. Batman 2. Man, dated and you ready or what?
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Man, we gotta wait a while.
Yeah. But 2 years, a little over 2.5 years until it drops on screens, which is nice that they're giving it a little time. I wish it was
to breathe.
I wish they had so it's October of 2025, I think. That's what it says, right?
October 3rd.
Yeah,
October 3rd, yeah.
Which is cool. Halloweenish. They should have maybe pushed it closer to Halloween if they're gonna make it all creepy and shit. But
yeah.
It's got some time to breathe. I think it's gonna be I'd prefer it to come out next year. Like it would have been 2 years if they just come out next year. But do what they got to do to make it right. I'd rather them take their time and do it right than push it too soon, and it sucks. And it's going to be right up against.
I was going to ask you. Sorry, do you have like a little mini wish list of things that they improved from the first one, or things that you want to see in the second one?
Ooh, you know what? I want to see Bane back on the big screen done like properly. I don't think that he's never been done justice in the Joel Schumacher ones. He was like this big oafy cartoon, like big. I'm like, dude, what? This dude he can speak English. Like, I don't understand why you make him a fucking monster. And then the Tom Hardy one, it didn't hit the right notes for whatever reason. And
are you kidding me? This is your hero.
I'm scared.
I love that Tom Hardy. Do you feel in charge? Anyways,
I just thought that there was a big swing and a miss, and so I'd love to see like a proper Bane, but he could be in the third one because like the whole story of Bane is like it's a long story. We don't want to get into it. But I hope that'd be cool. But I mean, they should just keep doing what they're doing. Like a little bit less Seven, like in the next Batman, more of an adventure mystery. You know what? I'd love to see the Court of Owls. I'd love to see the Court of Owls with this iteration of Batman. But at the same time, they've already introduced like a Joker character. So I think they're going to go in whatever that direction. I don't think the Court of Owls and the Joker really go well together. I'd rather say like a Riddler joke Court of Owl kind of situation. I don't know. But I would love to see a Court of Owls. But we'll see what happens.
For me, I'm kind of I guess two things that come to mind is like they're kind of basic. It's like I wonder if he's gonna put some body mass because the streets talk and the streets are saying that he's a little light in the ass. You know what I'm saying? So he needs to put some muscle on. You know what I'm saying?
He can do some deadlifts. It ain't gonna kill you to do some deadlifts, Rob. I'm pretty sure they got a gym. And then the other
thing was, I'm sure they do. They got some weights somewhere too. And the other thing I'm curious about is that, man, I really like the color palette and how they chose to shoot the film.
Yeah.
But I wonder if if I'm ready to see another Red movie. Like another, like with those warm colors all the time and stuff.
I don't know, man.
Which is cool, like but at the same time,
2.5 years from now, you're going to be more than ready. The trailer is going to come out and you're just going to be like, you're going to be drooling red. So I think you're going to be okay.
What if it's Mr. Freeze and they do blue? I'm like, that'd be cool.
That'd be different. Dude, there's so many directions to go. And I think he said he's only going to make 3. So I'm like, dude. I just love the idea of the Court of Owls because it explores like the history of Gotham and going back like 100 years and generations and buildings, and everything has a history that's all tied in together, and it all ties into the Wayne family, and you're just like, what is happening? It kind of undoes a lot of stuff and kind of he has to put it all back together, and they break them down, and it's a cool story. So just to see that kind of a history thing would be really fun. But Moving on. What do you say? What do you say to the
It's time for the DC breakdown.
Yeah, this is gnarly. It was announced. James Gunn, I guess, did a video which I haven't even seen. I just saw the printouts. I'm like, okay, let's see what you got going.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was gonna announce like a couple of things. Dude, this is like extremely ambitious. So
I was just gonna mention it's ambition, but again, they give themselves time. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, it's coming next week. You know what I'm saying? They're giving themselves like a year plus to start releasing some of this because they have those 4 movies in the bank, you know, that are gonna come out this year.
Oh, so, that's right. Yeah. They're gonna put the current
so they're not rushing it.
Yeah, they're gonna put the Snyderverse, let it kind of go to bed. And then they're going to go into like start their own thing completely. So there's going to be a little bit of space. I'm so curious.
I think we also want to say that it was, it's a mixed bag. And I'm speaking for myself. I might be not as, knowledgeable in some of these characters because I know them by name, but some of them are like, I don't know what that is,
Yeah,
so
I know some.
Those are going to be the level of excitement is going to be kind of on the minimum side.
I think between us both, we'll have most of this covered, I think. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start in no particular order. We're starting with the TV shows, and we're going to go into the films. So the first TV show is what?
Booster Gold.
Yeah. Dude.
I've seen the artwork. Mm-hmm. I've seen the covers. I've never read it, I vaguely know that he's a guy, like a normal guy from the future, and he comes to present day. And he has like this suit that has powers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to be a hero, but he's just a regular guy with a suit. But I mean, that's DC. I mean, Batman's a regular guy.
So keeping in mind, this is the James Gunn version of DC. So it's going to be different. And this is kind of, it seems like the wheelhouse. Like it's going to be
quirky,
very quirky, very trippy, a lot of room for comedy. And a lot of room for action and explosions. I'm like, okay. And the first time I heard of Booster Gold is when the Death of Superman comic was like in the 1990, 91, somewhere in there. I think it was 91. And Doomsday was killing everybody, and Booster Gold was one of the people he just straight up murders. And I was like, oh, this guy named Booster Gold, who no one's ever heard of, got murdered by Doomsday. And then he goes on to murder Superman later. The only reason I'm kind of curious about this, because this could be like...
Are you thumbs up or thumbs down?
50-50. If they do a Peacemaker style of approach to this, it could be pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It could be interesting. It's like Peacemaker with some more powers.
Yeah.
Which, interesting enough, Peacemakers didn't even make the fucking list. So are they holding it back or what?
I think they're going to do, the Waller show is going to be a bridge, and they're going to have cameos. Different guys, kind of like maybe episodes and stuff like that. Yeah. So he might be into that.
Yeah. So
that's something interesting too that I saw. That
this leads us into number 2, which is the Waller show. So let's talk about that more.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. So Waller, that's gonna take. She's gonna have her own series, and I don't know if it's gonna be like a serialized kind of show where it's one long story, or if it's gonna be a
mystery.
Let's figure it out this week, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they'll have like different cameos, different heroes, but it kind of opens it up for different, I don't know, the hierarchy of like big guys, big heroes, big names with smaller names.
Yeah. I think she's going to be
that's one thing I liked about that. That's what I liked about the Justice League movie, you've heard a couple of these guys, but a couple of these, like, who's that? Polka Dot Man. Who the fuck is that? But
I think she's kind of like the Nick Fury of like the DCU, how they're treating her. So she's like the bridge, like all these different areas. So if they need to like introduce a character, they'll just have a scene with her having coffee with someone. Like, oh, now this person's there.
Yeah, and kudos to her because she's down in the rock, man. She's like she did the what's that one movie, The Woman King?
Oh yeah,
which I heard nothing but good things about.
Yeah,
and it was kind of like a semi snub for the Oscars because people were like, they should that should have been nominated. I haven't seen it yet.
I want to check it out.
But I have people in my life that have seen it that have like, oh, you should watch it. It's really good. So, I'm excited to watch that. So she'll do something like that. Then she'll do like some courthouse drama, and now she's in the superhero world.
She's no
So
joke
kudos
as
to
an
her.
actress, man. So I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. And he's going to continue that character that he's already introduced. That's kind of cool that he's not like reinventing. He's kind of taking what he already did and starting to like build on that. So it's not like a fresh thing. We kind of know what we're getting into already, which is like a nice blanket when DC kind of needs a little something. What's next? This one's all you.
Lanterns. Lanterns is another show, right? And little disclosure, transparency. The Green Lantern world is kind of like my favorite. The Green Lanterns are my favorite comic book to read, or as main title. But anyway, so I'm a little weary. I don't know why they're calling it the Lanterns. It kind of seems weak to me. But I'm just gonna like sit back and let them do their thing, and hopefully, it has a positive result. But yeah, man, it's supposed to be Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, and they're like Earthbound, right? They're kind of like detectives, or they're looking for somebody. I'm thinking they're gonna be looking for Sinestro hiding on Earth, but Sinestro's pink, so I don't know how he's gonna hide.
Maybe Sinestro just stays home all day and gets like Uber Eats and shit like that, so he doesn't have to leave.
He's ironing his yellow suit.
Yeah.
I'm kind of 50-50 because when I heard Earthbound, man, I want to see some space shit, So they're in space. They're the cops of space, and they all have sectors, and there's
bro,
thousands of them.
Space is expensive. It's much cheaper to film at a Starbucks than in space. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, but everything's green screen now, anyways.
Of course, but that costs money. I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious about everything. All right, so that's Lanterns.
So I'm like you, man. I want it to be good, but I'm a little tentative. Next up, I don't know what this is. Creature Commandos. It's animated. It's got monsters, I think.
Yeah. We should actually mention that the whole theme for this first iteration of the DCU is the first, I don't know which, not phase, but whatever you want to call it. It's called Gods and Monsters. And that's kind of like the approach that they're trying to take is gods and monsters. So they're going to introduce like Wonder Woman, Superman, and at the same time monsters. And this is a monster one. So I'm like, okay. Animated. Okay. This is the only animated one. And I think it's going to be hard R-rated.
Could be cool.
It could be. James Gunn, he wrote all of them. It's like 6 or 7 episodes. So he's going to be doing some crazy stuff.
Oh, and I think they said that this one's already in production, right?
It has to be. Animation takes a long time. So I would not be surprised if this is one of the first things that comes out, actually.
Yeah. Maybe get some excitement going.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious to see what they do with this. But yeah, this is like the most mysterious one, but could be fun. I don't know if it's like along the lines of the Harley Quinn show, which no one knows what's going on with that exactly yet. Yeah. But it's interesting that if it is one of the first ones that comes out, that this is going to be like a founding building block for this moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Like you're building your foundation on this. Yeah. So you got to be pretty confident. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Be like, it's not you can't be taking swings, You got to go up there Barry Bonds style and just fucking get on base, bitch. Yeah. Fingers crossed with this one, man. I don't know. We'll just see when it comes out. What's the next one? Next one, we got the first film. Oh, no. The last show. Yeah. Paradise Lost. Yeah. This is interesting. I think this has potential. I think so, too. I think because DC there's a lot of drama and a lot of darker stuff and themes that they approach that Marvel usually doesn't in the books. So this has like, and they're describing this as like a Game of Thrones-esque type show that takes place on Themyscira with the Wonder Women or the Amazonians. Yeah. And it could be cool. Like, think about what if like one half of the Amazonians want to murder the other half because they disagree politically on something. Like, that's going to be a pretty crazy show. Yeah. Are they going to go that far? Probably. It's going to be interesting. But I think it's got. And there might be some room for some magical beasts. Running around. And I think it takes place like way before Wonder Woman was born. This is like the founding of that whole thing, which I'm like, that has potential. This will be fun. Like
This would be like right in the Greek mythology area, right?
Yeah,
Like a bunch of gods just hanging out.
I think it could be cool.
Yeah,
And they're going to do it on a TV
me
show,
too.
and they're going to give it some space to kind of build a lot of character. I'm interested. And it's cool because it takes place way like thousands of years before the current time. So they can
And
pretty
maybe this
much,
will be plant the seed for the whole overall thing of it,
they can
right?
do whatever they want and get away with it, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's Paradise Lost. And then what takes us to the films that are coming out.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
again, these are not no particular order, so we don't know how they're going to come out,
No.
what order they're going to come out. We just wrote out a list. So the first film is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah. This is what's really cool about this one is James Gunn is taking a ton of comic source material, like stuff that's like fairly recent in the last 10 years, and he's building on that. He's not like starting over from nothing and just trying to build something. Like they're taking like good classic stories by their best writers in the last 10 years and turning those into like films. I'm like, fuck yeah, you have like it's already done. Like just expand on it and make it badass, and there you go.
That's cool, man. I'm excited. I'm not too familiar with Power Girl or Supergirl or whatever you want to call her.
But I hear it's a really good run, so I'm gonna probably read it before.
I'm like, whenever you think about women in comics, you always wonder like, how misogynistic are they going to be? So I'm wondering if they're going to tone it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because it went from Supergirl to Power Girl, and let me tell you, Power Girl, it was really misogynistic. Her costume, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this day and age, you gotta, that's not really what we're looking for. We want the story, man.
And what's cool,
respect.
Tom King, the writer, he's written a ton of like true crime and crime type books. So he's not like a cartoony guy. He's like, he gets pretty hard and he tells hard stories. So I've heard the stories are really good. So I want to see his take on it. So I'm excited. I'll put it up there.
Cool. All right. Next up, we got The Authority.
This is the
one.
And
I was partially right. This is the one, like, I guess it was an older book, and then Mark Millar kind of retook it in the early thousands or somewhere in there.
You are not right. It's
Damn.
I think it's Warren Ellis. And this, for several reasons, I'm extremely excited about this. The story itself it's interesting, it's cool, but the biggest thing, number one, it's written by Warren Ellis, who's a great writer, did Transmetropolitan. If you haven't read that, that's a fucking amazing book. This is folding in the Wildstorm universe into the DC Comics, which is folding it now into like the DC universe. So we could see all of these characters that Jim Lee created like in the early 90s. There's a ton, like Grifter, Deathblow, and all these Wildcats and all these different groups that came into like that whole independent comic area. DC Comics bought that his imprint years ago. So there's like dozens and dozens of really more modern comic characters and stories that they could fold into the modern DCU films and stories. I'm like, holy shit, that's like a pretty cool way. And it's The Authority is what it's called. And The Authority kind of like, they're like a more grounded but very adult group of like superheroes that will murder you if you're not behaving yourself. It's kind of like a little Watchmen-ish with more powers, and it's very adult like themed. And they're going into like the classic 90s comics where everything's like big guns, big crazy, over the top. So they're going to bring those guys into the DCU. So I'm like, how are they going to do that? So they're opening a huge door that people aren't really familiar with. So I'm really excited at The Authority, at the idea of this. So I'm really curious how they approach it, fold it all in. So this is like my number 2 most excited property that they're going to explore. That was a big move.
Yeah, it's good. Just a little fact checking going on. In November of 2000, Mark Millar and Frank Quitely took over.
Oh, they took over.
So, yeah.
But they didn't write the original.
There was 2 runs.
Okay.
Like I said, there was 2 runs. The earlier run and the second run. And so the first run was in...
so we're both right, except that you were...
No.
Except when I said you're wrong.
No.
I was wrong about you being
No,
wrong.
I was more right.
Oh.
I was more right. Because you said I was wrong.
All right, you were
So that makes me
51% right,
automatic.
and I was 49% right.
There you go. Majority leader.
That's
There
fine.
you go.
You can take the
I
W.
even put it up looking for this.
Oh, look at that right there. Wikipedia. Holy shit. Good for you, little man. Good for you.
Yeah.
Get that W.
Well, I'm just
that
saying,
W.
man.
You get that W.
Just saying. I can't have you slandering me in front of our public here.
I gotta tell you, I'm excited that Mark Millar was also involved because he is a madman when he writes. I love most of his books. So that's doubly.
I do not.
Really?
I'm 50-50 on Mark Millar.
Okay. So
I'm not a huge fan of his work. I'm 50-50. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Like, I liked, I like most of Kick-Ass. The Red Son's my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man.
Nemesis. I really like Nemesis.
Nemesis was fun. Dark. He did Wanted. Wanted. Yeah. I loved Wanted for the most part.
Wanted. Wanted was cool. But then he did like the whole Marvel run he had. I didn't like.
No, that
he
was
did a bunch of stuff with Marvel.
It's like he had the handcuffs on. When he gets to do his own thing, it's super cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can do
But anyways, yeah. I'm excited for it now. I didn't know the whole background of it. I just knew that I'd seen the covers. I remember seeing the covers with his name on it.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Moving on to the next.
The next one, The Brave and the Bold.
Yeah. Break it down.
I'm excited.
Break it down.
I'm excited. I don't know too much about it. I just know that it's Batman and Robin.
Who's Damian Wayne in this one?
Yeah, who's his son.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting how they're going to do it. Are they going to do like, oh yeah, there was like 3 other Robins before you? Or are they just going to be like, this is the first Robin? There's got to be Nightwing.
And I'm really curious how it all works down because for listeners, Damian Wayne, Batman's son, he had with
is an assassin.
He's an assassin. He's a little murderer, and he was because he didn't.
He
was born. Batman didn't know he was around, and by the time he found out he has a son, he was already a little assassin murderer at that point. And,
Father of the year.
Yeah.
Father of the decade.
Deadbeat Batman. But yeah, I think it's you gotta knock out the door. Yeah, I'm excited because this is going to be a ton of like just contrast of styles and conflict of morality, and it's a big move. That's how they're going to introduce the Batman in this new iteration of like Batman. I think it's cool.
Yeah,
I think it's cool. It's a big move, big ballsy move. I like it.
Yeah, and I wonder how many shots we're going to get of Batman brooding over something that Damien did.
How many people he murdered?
Yeah, he's just gonna be staring. Anyways, I'm excited too, man. Anything Batman, I'm pretty much 100% in.
It's interesting they're calling it The Brave and the Bold, not like Batman, The Brave and the Bold or something. You know what I mean? Like people might get a little confused, but we'll see how they market it when it comes out. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And that's a film.
I'm excited too.
All right, what's next?
All right, a big dog, Superman Legacy.
Yeah.
Now, James Gunn, I think, is writing, and he said he might direct it.
I'm so unsure of this. Like, Superman and James Gunn, in my mind, don't go together. So I'm really curious. Like, is he going to, like, get out of his comfort zone of quirky and weird and, like, be more mature, serious toned? Serious with some lightheartedness. I don't know. I'm very curious.
Yeah.
They said it's going to be a younger
But don't you want to see something different from the regular Superman? Like, that's one thing I never connected with him was because I feel like he was always the goody two shoes, the Boy Scout, and I didn't want to hang out with a Boy Scout when I was a kid.
And that
I'm like, let's get into some shit.
It's kind of boring because he's like almost invincible. He's like a god. You know what I mean? So it gets kind of a little dull. So I hope they do something interesting with it. And it's supposed to be like a younger Superman, kind of like learning the ropes, which I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Which is cool because we have like a veteran Batman and a young Superman. We'll see. Fingers crossed for that one. But I'm guessing
I hope it's good.
I bet you that's going to be one of the first ones out of the gate because they got to like anchor it with something.
Well, he's writing it. So we'll see. Last one. I'm excited for this.
Yes.
And I heard it's a scary movie.
Yes, you are.
Scary-ish. Swamp Thing. Oh, yeah. We're going to get to the swamp. We're going to get nasty.
And this is
scary.
under the title of Monsters. So you got Superman, who's a god, and Swamp Thing's under the monster moniker.
Or he's a god too, man. He represents Mother Earth.
He does.
He's protecting Mother.
Yeah, but he can't fly, so
he can. Have you not seen the New 52?
No, I have not. Swamp Thing can fly. He just grows wings. What does he do?
He grew fucking wings, bro. Looks like a fucking bat.
Okay, there you have it.
Damn, you haven't seen that? It's really cool. I remember I was like reading it. Oh, I'm a nerd. Oh, shit. Like, it was like, yeah, it was a New 52 when the New 52 came out.
I think they're adopting most of those stories for these. So there you go. You look.
And that was a great story, too. It was him against the rot.
There's been
eating Earth.
There's been fun stories of Swamp Thing and Batman teaming up for certain little things here and there, and those are really fun too. So I'm like, shit, like unexpectedly fun. So I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with this.
Yeah, man. Hopefully it's pretty. If it's to that storyline that I read, it's gonna be pretty cool. And there's some pretty cool team ups and some pretty cool surprises of things that happened. So I'm excited.
Me too. Just if you're excited, then I'm excited because you're a huge Swamp Thing fan. If you're at home listening, this motherfucker is wearing a Swamp Thing shirt right now. He's sporting a Swamp Thing shirt. He is so excited.
And I said that we didn't write these in any particular order, but I did put Swamp Thing last.
I wondered about that.
Is that one at a time?
I wanted to give you, I wanted to give you a little something, so I let you have that.
But I also did it because I read that this is going to be the last film that they release.
Oh, okay. So it's
for
going to be
the slate.
And they could introduce like the Constantine level of magic and crazy shit. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So
I'm surprised that they didn't do a Justice League Dark thing, Or
they might.
Like a dark universe.
They might.
Or this might introduce it.
This is still very early, man. This is like phase 1.
Yeah.
But so there you go. That's wrapping up the giant DC universe. I bet you it's not going to be, all these things aren't going to be out for probably like another 5 to 8 years, depending. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. Let's, where do you say we get out of this whole area and go to a new area?
I know, the nerdiest segment ever.
Big old nerd. All right.
Yeah, that was the nerdiest shit we said in a long time.
Right.
Or done.
Yeah.
What we watched.
Woo. All right. This is what I've been excited for. All right.
Yeah. Last of Us. Mm-hmm. Episodes 2 and 3.
Yes, sir. We're gonna get into it, and then we'll get into some spoilers. And so,
all right,
we'll put some time on the clock for the spoilers. But episode 2 and 3 overall impressions.
Overall, episode 2 was scary, and episode 3 was lovely.
Yes. I loved it in episode 2, they established the stakes. You're like, because the first episode, you're kind of like, clearly some terrible shit has happened.
Yeah.
And episode 2 goes into like, there is the terrible shit right in your face. Like, damn. And it's just like this unwinnable type situation. You're just like, run. That's the whole thing, run.
Yeah.
You either shut up and hide or run. And you're like, damn. And I thought it was really well done, well paced, well everything, like in the stakes and everything. We're like, oh man, you felt it. And then I don't know what else to say, but like it's really, they upped it. They gave the viewers, I think, what they're kind of waiting for. Like if they had made episode, like the first episode 2 hours, which was already fucking 2 hours almost on its own, like episode 1 and 2 together, it would have been a hell of a 1-2 punch, but it was way too long, so I had to break it up. But man, what else you got to say on the episode 2?
Episode 2, yeah, man, they definitely established the stakes of it, but they did it so well. I mean, I think that's like an understatement. I mean, there's like a few standout moments for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, the episode was great overall, but like there's a few standout moments, and I don't know if did you say we're gonna do spoilers, or are we gonna hold on for spoilers, or
spoilers for both of them?
Okay, yeah. So I'll hold on.
Yeah,
but it was great, man. I loved it, and I was already in, but then man, I was like, oh yeah, dude, I like this. Daddy likes
episode 2. Christina loved it. I was like, wow, because that's like
I'm surprised
level
too.
Of intensity, and that was, she was like, when's the next one? When's the next one? Like that level of like, she was in, and I was like, yes. So I was extremely happy with that one.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But man, it's so good. And then I don't even want to. This is not spoiling it, but we take a slight left turn with episode 3, and it was such for me. I'm like, ballsy move so early. Like it's like I don't know if it's 8 or 10 episodes this season. That's usually like a thing they do in the middle of a season. They'll like do a little left turn and change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
In episode 3, they take a hard left to the most beautiful place, and they did it to establish like not just stakes, but like what they're kind of fighting for in their own way. This might have been my favorite hour of television this year. Like the year is very early, but oh my god, this like did not see this episode coming at all, and it was just like riveting for so many different reasons, which we can get into during spoiler time. But go ahead, episode 3, dude, fire away.
Yeah, I was surprised as well, man. I think that going from the adrenaline rush that was the second episode, the third episode I didn't see coming at all. It was like a really artistic look into the human condition.
Yes.
And the wanting to not be alone, or like the yearning for something that's missing. And even though you might think you have everything, like he had everything, right? But there was something missing. And the story was extremely well told, and I agree with you. This is going to be a landmark TV episode for
a lot of different reasons. Yeah.
And for all time, because this is an all-time episode of TV. And you know how, the last 3 episodes of Breaking Bad, or you go back and talk about, the second and last episode of Watchmen, and you go back and, the Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah.
And you start knowing names of these TV episodes.
Yeah.
This is going to be the one so far,
dude,
that you're going to know.
Yeah. How do you follow this up? I mean, I love it. The fact that it's so different. They don't have to follow it up. You know what I mean? It's like its own thing. And it's like, what? Ooh, shout out to all the actors. Like,
man.
I mean, what? And the design, the production design and the ideas and everything is so like, what?
Yeah. But, and the runtime, I mean, I'm not complaining about the runtime, but I thought because the first episode was an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes, no, an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then the second episode was under an hour, and this was over an hour. So it's like you can't really get a foothold of what kind of, are we going to watch an hour a week? Or are we going to, I guess it depends on the story.
Yeah.
And I'm happy, man.
Andor did that. Like some episodes were like an hour and 20. Some episodes were like 40 minutes. Like they told the story they wanted to tell as tightly as they need to tell it. If they needed to breathe, they breathed. If they needed to keep it tight, they kept it tight. Yeah. It was like, it's so cool that there's not like you have to fit 55 minutes exactly. Yeah. And it's just kind of like some shit's filler, some shit's rushed. They just kind of let it breathe. I love that.
Yeah.
And before we get into spoilers, no, you know what? I'm going to save this for spoilers. Man, what do you think? Like 6-7 minutes for spoilers on this one?
Yeah. This was 7.
7 minutes of spoilers on the clock. All right. So, all right, Last of Us spoilers coming up, and I think we'll probably break this to a separate section on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's easy for people who haven't watched it because the ratings keep going up. So clearly, some of our listeners have not watched it, but you're going to.
Yeah.
All right, man. Jumping into spoilers. Here we go. 3, 2, spoiler. So Last of Us. All right. I want to say there's one thing that was really cool, like the opening for episode 2. When they're talking to the doctor, just like in Jakarta, because they mentioned Jakarta, Indonesia, in the first episode, barely. And then we jump into Jakarta, the second episode opening, and then it kind of ends with the doctor literally saying, bomb the whole city, including myself. I'm going to go home to be with my family. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Woo.
Can I just say that sometimes you're cool and sometimes I think you're an asshole? And right now you're being an asshole because you took my take. That was like that was exactly what I was going to say. Is like, that was the scariest part of the episode because the lady was just like, bomb. And there's only one word. It was a universal word. Bomb. Just bomb. And can I go hang out with my family before you bomb everybody? Because it's like,
and she did say,
man.
let's get my family out of here. She said, I'm going to go home because we're going to be amongst the bombed. And I'm like,
and she looks so petrified.
Yeah.
And like, she did such an amazing job. And that was like, man, that's crazy. That's the first thing you said.
Wow. Sometimes you get it right, man. Sometimes you get it right.
Yeah. Look at you.
All right. You know what? I want you to retell that story the way, if I didn't tell it, how would you tell that story?
I would tell her like, oh, you know that lady that was a doctor and she was scared when she saw the things coming out of her mouth and she said, hey, just blow everybody up. Hey, good job, lady. You did a better job.
Very eloquent.
But I thought she did a great job when she's like, bomb. I kept saying, I was at work the next day and I just kept saying that people are bomb.
Bomb.
Bomb. I was trying to say how she said it.
Man,
bomb.
that was a moment. That this show has so many little moments that mean so much. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, dude, it was really well done, and the camera just stayed on her, so it didn't like there was not a lot of cutting, so it was just like focusing on her performance.
Yeah,
and she emoted all of that.
Yeah,
and you're like, you felt the fear.
Yeah,
which was really cool, and that was like the first episode, the first 10 minutes of the episode was that.
And it was a very grounded fear where you're like, you should be scared.
I'm like, oh, we're in the thick of it. And like, as soon as she saw the little things coming out of the mouth, she's like unplugging shit. She's like, get me out of here.
Game over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was that in season 2. And then
episode 2.
Episode 2. At the end of episode 2, what were your thoughts on like fucking like you're like, fuck.
Oh man, my little guy Francois with a little Frenchie. Oh man. I feel so bad. I really love Anna Tarv. I wish she was in more things. I don't know why she's not in more things. Tess, and she knew she had to go. And I love that. I'm a sucker for that. I was going to sacrifice myself for the greater good kind of thing, So she was already a goner and she had the lighter. For a second, I thought that she wasn't going to be able to light that thing. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, they're going to catch him or, they were going to do something. And the guy was just like staring at her. And like, at first, I could tell that he was like, oh, she's one of us now. I'm not going to eat her. But then I'm like, he got intimate, bro. He like crossed the line. He was like, and he's like, and then she couldn't fight it anymore. The cordyceps had taken over and it was like, she didn't want it, but her body
inner fungi.
Yeah, was receptive, to say the least. And it kind of looks like my beard.
Dude, it looks a lot like your beard. Oh, man. You sure you're not hiding any mushrooms in your beard there?
I know. Sometimes I have to like sift through it.
But that was like, oof.
That was good shit.
Really well done. And then really well done. And then, all right, man, getting into episode 3. Holy shit. Like, one of the greatest love stories put on, like, I was like, what? Oh, yeah. And then I got to give a shout out Nick Offerman and Murray. Oh, I forget the guy's name. And immediately Christina was like, Murray Bartlett or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right.
And he was nominated for an Emmy for the first season of White Lotus.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did not even recognize him in this, the first. And Christina was like, that's
I had to Google
White
it.
Lotus. Yeah. And I was like, holy shit, this dude's a badass.
Yeah.
And those two together was like, what?
Yeah.
And how they designed the history of like that compound and how they tell that story of like his character. Then also you see his character making like a wine reduction. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what? Okay. And then he's building like a fence with flamethrowers. I'm like, this is my guy. This guy is fucking dope.
Yeah.
And they just kept going along those lines. And like the one thing that bothered me though the whole time was when they do get attacked. And he just fucks up a whole group of people. Mm-hmm. Like, why are you standing in the middle of the street shooting people with a sniper rifle? Shouldn't you be hiding behind some sandbags or something? Mm-hmm. But I get it. They had to tell the story. That moved the story along. Mm-hmm. And then they flipped it where like he gets shot and then it opens it up the next like 10 years later. Mm-hmm. He's fine, but it's the other dude who's not fine. You're just like, fuck. And then like telling that story, I'm like, oh my God. It's like, wow. And then, but elaborate more. I have more to say, but I want to Get some room to breathe in here.
Yeah. No, I agree with everything you just said, man. And it was funny because you go into, not famously, but like semi-famously, Nick Offerman known as a curmudgeon as far as the characters that he plays. And he's a curmudgeon in the beginning, but this guy that he catches literally in his trap ends up turning his life around and fills a hole that he didn't even know that was empty.
No, he was like,
boom, I just did that. The trap, and I fill the hole, boom, with something that was empty with love.
Look at this guy.
Boom.
Look at this guy. Yeah, it's totally true. And I think we're at a 7-minute mark, but anyone who's listening, we're gonna go like another like 3 minutes. So sorry. So yeah, Mr. Fill the hole with love, and you are not wrong. And the idea, I mean, I had to I looked up or I listened to one of the pods from the Rewatchables with Van and Charles, I think I was listening to, and how they were describing it. And they did so much better job than we're ever going to do here, at least this week. How where Nick Overman Bill has purpose. His purpose was just to survive and live, not die. Then his purpose became like love and protect this other guy and like this connection. And it was like, whoa. And then once his purpose was going to be gone, he no longer had purpose, and he just didn't. He was good.
Yeah,
he was good,
fulfilled.
Like, yes, he was like, I am gonna end my journey how I see fit, and this is how I want to do it because I don't want to continue this journey. My journey is complete. Achievement unlocked. And wow. And I when he poured the wine, I'm like clearly, like there's no way. And then
he did it way too easy, right? Like without talking back or like, I'm not doing this. No, he just did it.
Made a decision and just went for it. And I loved the letter that he left for Joel. Joel, like, I never really liked you,
but I respect you. Yeah.
Here's my cache of weapons. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And then that little story is pushing the whole story forward with Joel and Ellie, because he's giving him a purpose, and he's trying to understand, like, he's a curmudgeon too in the situation. And Ellie's finally starting to kind of understand the stakes of everything and what things cost. And it's like, there's lost tests. So it's like, damn.
I did like the joke where she asked again, is there anything bad in there? And he said, only you. And she said, oh, you're getting funnier. I like that bit. But as far as like the other part of the episode, how did you interpret the last shot where they're shooting through the room where Bill and Frank are, and you see the window and it's open and they're basically riding off into the sunset?
Yeah.
How do you interpret that? Like, what do you think they were trying to communicate with us?
They're helping them. Well, there's two things helping them. When I first watched it, it was like, that they're just now furthering their journey. Like they're helping that clearly that letter alone just pushed the story forward, and he understands like the stakes, and it kind of changes the dynamic between the two going forward, which is amazing to do at episode 3. So I thought that was a big deal. But then the other part was I found out later, because all the nerds of the internet united, and they wrote an article explaining that shot. And apparently in the video game, that's the opening scene, is you just see a window with curtains blowing. That's like the title page when the game comes up and you're selecting like player 1, player 2, yada yada yada. And I was like, oh shit. So that was a pretty dope ass homage, like on 2 levels. Damn. How about you?
I can't speak to the nerd part as far as the game goes because I didn't look it up, but as far as the other part, like I took it like they were giving somebody else life, like their life left the window or left the room through the window, and they gave them life, you know, and
I think it gave them more hope, more of a chance,
a fighting chance.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
They with whatever they had and stuff like that.
They gave them like a boost. It's not gonna like be the answer, but it gave them a boost that they really needed.
Yeah.
Because they just came from a terrible place, so they needed a little something.
Yeah. So it was immaculately done.
I plan on watching it again this week. I just didn't have the time.
Yeah.
But I was like, I gotta watch that episode again, because I mean, I might get a little teary eyed. I was like touched. I was silent like the entire time watching. I think we both were just silent. Like,
yeah. And I got a lot of messages, text messages from friends, and like, did you watch episode 3? Oh my god, episode 3, blah blah blah, this and that. Like a lot of people kind of reached out and was like, yo, episode 3 of Last of Us, and it's crazy.
It was beautiful. I don't know what else to say, but it was beautiful, like unexpected, and it had like some moments of intensity as needed. And I loved the tie-in. Like one of my favorite little story bits. It's so simple. Is it opened up like on the road? He says, "Don't go over there. Don't go over there." And you see like the remains in a pit, and you see like the remains like it looks like a little doll.
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to that actual doll when everyone was still in the town alive, and you see like this was.
It was a baby. No, it wasn't a doll. I think it was a baby.
It was. I just
it was the blanket that the baby was wrapped in.
That's what it was. It was terrible.
Horrible.
And then it cuts to that, and you're just like, oh my god.
And that's it. And then Bill's hiding in the basement. It's so funny. That was an immaculate transition.
Dude,
I'm like, dude, that setup is fucking crazy.
The conception of that idea and how they pulled it off and how you were into it and the designs of like everything was like, what? Next level. Next level.
Next level. Correct.
All right.
All right. You think you're done?
I'm good. I could talk way too long, but we got to keep going.
All right. Yeah, man. So Last of Us, man. Keep doing your thing, man. We're there every week, and we're going to keep rocking with it.
Hell yeah.
It's a no-brainer. All right, moving on. Okay, you watch a little comedy? A little cartoon? A little sing-along? Called Trolls?
We watched Trolls. It's on Netflix. It's like 5 years old, I think.
I feel like it's older than that. But
maybe. I saw some like things for it a long time ago. I was like, no thanks. Not my thing. And then for some reason, I was watching or listening to the Hot Ones episode with Anna Kendrick this week. And she was talking about making that film or something or other, right? And I was like, and she was like praising it. And it was just like talking like, well. And I like Anna Kendrick for the most part. So like, and then then literally later that day, we were on Netflix or something, like just trying to find anything. And it popped up on the home screen. I'm like, clearly the fucking brain fucking machine is like
out or the listening. AI and all your electronics.
The AI, the algorithms got us, and immediately like, oh, you want to watch this? I'm like, yes, I do. So we hit play. I'm like, I have no idea. I'm like, all right, let's see what this is. Hilarious. Like the opening, like 15 minutes, man, we're dying. Like it's so damn funny. Like I did not think it was going to be that good. And it was like the movie that we kind of needed to kind of just get some levity after, especially after episode 3 of Last of Us. And we got Trolls 180. And it was funny. Like that's a really enjoyable film. The animation's good. It's clever. It's well done. The first half I think is funnier than the second half. But I mean, it was like unexpectedly quirky and weird and funny. And that could have done with a little less music or different music choices. But overall,
that was the best part.
Super enjoyable. It was pretty funny.
I gotta say, welcome to the party, pal.
I know there's a sequel too.
No shit. It made like a fucking $1 billion. So you're like, oh, it's surprisingly good. Fucking guy over here with the most amazing, well thought out fucking point. And like, hey guys, I already heard of this little gem.
Dude.
Hey, good one. Welcome to the party, pal. Oh my god,
that shit was.
I didn't hold that shit in the whole time, bro. When I read Trolls, I'm like, huh? You think it's good? Huh? Damn. Whew. All right, that's out of the system. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it was hilarious. You like the cloud? The cloud is fucking funny.
The cloud was one of the best parts.
Yeah.
The designs are so out there, but worked. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Fucking Trolls, bro. And then some of the hair just fucking. And what about the mini? And then the mini comes out, and then
the smallest dude with the biggest voice is like 3 or 4 times dropping it. Like every time it killed her. Oh,
was the first one the one where like they get trapped and then they're gonna serve them as food?
Yes. So how many of them are there?
There's 2.
Oh, okay. So I gotta look into the sequel. Oh, maybe next week. I
definitely have seen the first one more than the second one.
Okay, but yeah, it's if anyone has
good Netflix, one, bro. I'm happy for you.
It's not generally on my radar. But
No, it's not.
we try to do something different.
It's out of the Paddington window because it's not like live action, so you don't give it the film.
Huh.
The film thing.
So yeah, Trolls on Netflix, super enjoyable. It might have been successful.
Might have been a little successful. Yeah, some Grammys. I don't know.
Grammys. Wow, out of touch, Andres, for that one. All right. Moving on to the next one. You watched something. What'd you watch?
I watched You People on Netflix, starring Eddie Murphy. Heard of him?
Yeah.
Nia Long. Heard of her? You like Nia Long? You a fan? You watched any movies with her?
I know I've seen her in several things. I don't remember what specifically, but I remember she's always solid.
Jonah Hill and comeback star of the year, Lauren London. She keeps trending on Twitter every day. I'm like, she looks good in that movie. But anyways, it was funny. Like we watched it family night, I guess, without Z. Z can't watch it. But man, it definitely had some touchy subject matter, like religion and race and that kind of stuff. But I think overall they handled it really well, and they had some really funny bits. And at the end of the day, it was kind of like it touched the heart a little bit. It had some realizations and stuff about some people and stuff, and there's some hard facts thrown around in the movie, and I think it worked. And I think everybody did a great job with their performances. And I also enjoyed the music a lot of hip hop. All my hip hop heads out there, there's a lot of West Coast rap thrown around, which is cool. And it's based in LA, so it's really good. If you guys like rap, or I mean, you can watch it, but comedy wise, it's funny too. So good job, everybody involved with You People.
You said there's some hard takes. Yeah, you said there's some hard takes. Do you think that might have turned some people off? Because some people had a hard time with it. And I'm curious if, like, is it the hard takes that it might have given them some pause?
Well, like every now and then I would look over at my teenager, and I'm like, because then like I felt like it's a little cringy, and then he like his face would be like this, because you know the new generation is kind of like a little bit more sensitive to some things than others, so they're more receptive to catch on to things like that faster than some of us older folk, you know. And he said that he was worried that it was just gonna be cringe, but he enjoyed it after everything, you know, because he liked the story. But yeah, some things, you know, are deal breakers, you know, with religion and race. So but they push the envelope, and sometimes you want that in a comedy, you know. You want it to be you know, somewhere on the edge instead of being a cookie cutter kind of thing, you know. You want it to be provoking, and as long as they're not out to hurt people maliciously, then you know, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And I don't think anybody was out of touch. And I felt like both sides got their fair share. It wasn't like lopsided where like they picked on one type or another, you know. It was kind of like on both sides. So
I'm a little curious now more.
I appreciate it. So both the parents is where the issues were at, you know. It wasn't with like the younger, like it wasn't with Jonah and Lauren's characters. It was with the two set of parents, you know, with older people. And sometimes you need to adapt and learn how to be more inclusive in your life, and you know, not try to push everything on people, or you know, not pigeonhole people either, you know. So it was really, at the end of the day, it was really well done, and it's been number one since it came out. I don't know if you noticed on Netflix, it's been number one since when was it?
Till Trolls takes over.
Till it takes over again, and the rest won't stop watching it. Yeah. But that has some really funny bits too, man. We're like laughing some funny shit. And they let Eddie cook a couple times, like where he just kind of like does his thing. You're like, and why you do this? And why you do that? Yeah.
I was wondering if they're gonna let Eddie just be Eddie for a little bit. Like, will Eddie let himself be Eddie? Because he's been very
I could tell that he was into it, that he didn't just mail it in.
Cool.
We didn't get that laugh though, that he you know, that laugh he does. Yeah, we didn't get that because he was a serious guy at the end of the day. But yeah,
All right.
thumbs
Cool.
up.
All right. Cool. All right. Let's move on to the next segment.
All right.
Which is
Trailers.
All right.
All right.
We only
man.
got two. We'll go through these pretty quick because we are running long today. Go for it.
We are.
First one.
Murder Mystery. Jennifer Aniston. Murder Mystery 2. Jennifer Aniston and Mr. Adam Sandler.
Yeah. And
thoughts?
A colorful cast of characters. I didn't watch the first one. It looked it's a comedy, it's a cartoon of what it is. And it looks interesting enough. I gotta give a shout out to my man Adam Sandler specifically because this dude, almost every film he makes is in like a vacation spot. So he gets paid to take him and his whole family and have a paid vacation for like months and months every year to an exotic locale, usually on a beach or something, so he can make a movie while he's there, which is like the dude is living his best life. Like, he might not be making the best movies, but he's living his best life. And I'm like, and this is one of those. I think the first one was really popular. I never watched it. It's just kind of like a little too, I don't know.
I tried watching it.
Like, and
I was not successful.
So you quit something. All right.
Yeah, bro. Imagine that. It took that.
Crazy.
And I'm like, and I really like Adam Sandler. So anyways, this looks better already though than the first one. God, man, the first one looked horrible. I mean, I don't know, man. But some people really liked it. I don't know if it was the mystery aspect of it. But yeah, man, it was like a little mini phenomenon for Netflix. Okay. That's why they did a second one.
Cool, go for them. And I probably won't watch it.
This is the third time they work together, Aniston and Sandler. And I got to say that if Sandler were to do more team-ups, I want him to do more team-ups with Drew Barrymore because I recently rewatched Blended. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Bro, that shit hits. No. It's still funny. And I've seen it. We were laughing our asses
Maybe I'll
off.
check it out later.
It's just a light, funny movie, dude. Everywhere. I think HBO, Hulu. I don't know. All over the place. But yeah, man. So Murder Mystery 2. The next one we got is The Covenant, a serious film by Mr. Guy Ritchie starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you think? Was your take on this? I'll tell you what
I was confused.
I think this does not look like a Guy Ritchie film.
I was confused. It looked a little bit award baity, like, are they trying to make an award
generic film? It looked very generic to me. Like there's nothing standing out. It was like, man, it's just so.
The end was different though. I feel like the second part of the trailer was different. The second part of the trailer looked like a Guy Ritchie film to me. A little bit more. I'm like, we're gonna team up and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. Okay, boom.
And the other part was like, I think the trailer was way, way too long. I'm like, dude, just get in, tease it, and then get out. Like this trailer was long. I'm like, I was bored watching the trailer. I'm like, this looks very generic and good cast. But I mean, I'm just like, I don't know. I got to hear some good reviews before I watch it. It's cool that Guy Ritchie's, keeps working. I think this also helped push one of his other films, which I'm looking forward to. Operation something or other is coming out later, a couple months, and that looks like a more of an old school Guy Ritchie film. And he's going to start shooting another film pretty soon, where it's like a very Guy Ritchie starring like Henry Cavill, doing more of a gentlemanly type film. I'm looking forward to that shit.
I like The Man of Wrath. I don't know if you saw that, but if you guys haven't seen The Man of Wrath, it's a good trash crime film. It's one of those good bad movies. So
I watched like the first half and I had to turn it off, but it was it had its moments. Like it's
a quiet action-y
film. Yeah,
they got better, bro.
You could already see where it's going. I'm like, all right, fine. But yeah, so those are the two trailers for this week: Covenant and Murder Mystery. And odds of watching either of them, not good. We'll see.
Yeah, new to the list. All right, moving on. All right, shouting out. And this is like my good buddy Andres said, a ripple effect from just The Last of Us taking over the planet. Station 11
on HBO.
And I'll say I've watched it. I've watched Station 11, and it was one of my favorite shows of that year, if not the favorite. And I gotta say that if you guys like the episode 3, or if you want more of that, Station 11 did that basically the whole season. So it was like a really touching, sometimes scary, sometimes adventurous, sometimes, you know, funny. It had a lot of stuff in it, and it's a pandemic. There's no monsters in it, so if you don't want zombies, they don't have any. It's just what happens after the pandemic and the connection between people. So I highly recommend it. It's on HBO Max, and if you haven't had a chance to see it, this is the perfect time to go back and watch something. If you guys liked the End of Us or The Last of Us part episode 3.
Yeah, I want to watch it. On your recommendation alone, I want to watch it. But also, it came out the timing during fucking
it was a little close
show during literally during the pandemic. You're like,
yeah,
maybe we'll delay this one for a little while. Let's get the whole vaccine thing and then watch the fucking pandemic show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta check it out. I watched like the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes just because I wanted to see what the feel was. And yeah, I liked all the actress, the actress. So I want to get back into it.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be the Last of Us will be the entry point for watching Station 11 here. We'll see how it goes. All right, what's the next thing?
Next thing, British baking show, The Professionals.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, man, because the last couple of seasons of the British baking show, the baking has not been great, to say the least.
Yeah, so apparently, all right, here we go. This is an interesting one because this is season 6, apparently, but this is the first season available on Netflix. So I'm like, what?
In America.
And so I'm like a little, getting caught up. And we actually watched like the first challenge of it this morning. We turned it on when we were eating breakfast. And we're like, let's just watch something totally different. And I'll tell you right now, it's called Great British Baking, but it has nothing to do with the show except for they're just baking some shit. And they got like patisserie and chocolatier type folks. Like they're just making desserty stuff. And they have like, it's very, very food. Everything is very high end. And I think you'll like it because there's some really cool stuff. And it's faster paced, but they're like at a high level. Like these are all professionals. They all come from like these places.
They're not nice?
No, they're all pretty cool actually. Oh, I was like, these people are cool. I'd hang out with these guys. And there's one crew from like a cooking school in London who are competing. They're not doing so good as the other guys so far, but it's just fun to watch and see how like different interpretations of like classic French desserts and shit like that. So I'm like, this is kind of fun. I think you're gonna like it. I wanted you to watch the first episode and let me know what you think.
Yeah,
we got to finish the first episode.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna crank this shit on soon.
Yeah, it's stuff I don't think we're gonna be making at home anytime soon. It's pretty like whoa.
You need a sous chef.
Really cool.
Well, there's two of you guys. One of you guys do all the measurements and shit and everything.
Yeah, but they've got like professional sous chefs. They are rocking and rolling like some crazy shit.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's definitely worth watching. Check it out. It's a nice, easy, breezy kind of thing. The judges are a little different, but you kind of get into their flavor. I'm like, all right, it's cool.
Oh no, Hollywood, so all Hollywood.
No, it's a completely different thing.
Oh, okay.
But they have a former contestant from Great British Baking Show who's one of like the hosts, Liam. Sorry, Liam. He's fun. So it's kind of like, all right, that's cool. So that's on Netflix. All right, man. Let's get to the next thing, the last thing. Here we go.
All right. Our next thing, double feature. All right, man.
All right.
We had a lot of pandemic and post-apocalyptic talk this episode, so we're going to go with the post-apocalyptic double feature.
And then you can watch Trolls afterwards because this shit is not going to be a happy one.
All right.
Damn. All right, you go first. I got 2 picks because
I got 2 picks too. What you're
going to pick.
All right, since I get to go first, I'm going to go with one of the best action movies of all time, and I'm going to go with Mad Max Fury Road.
That was one of my picks. That was my backup pick.
Oh, okay. That was my first pick. I'll tell you what my backup is after you're done. Anyways.
I bet you my pick is your backup pick. But let's go. Fire away. Fury Road. Love it.
Fury Road.
It's on the theaters.
Dude, I remember it was one of the best movie experiences I've had in a long time. I left the theater and I was like in awe, like, wow, of just the action and the way it was shot, the way it looked, and the imagery. Props to everybody involved.
Dude,
and
it picked up a bunch of Oscars too because it's that good.
Yeah, the visionary look of it, and just like then listening to all the trouble it had in production and between the
Oh, yeah.
actors and everything, and they're
Yeah.
like, we didn't even know what we're doing, that whole aspect to it, and then it comes out a masterpiece. It's got to be a great feeling for George Miller, so
Dude,
kudos to
because
him.
the stories were like Tom Hardy. It was just like, I don't know what this piece of shit is. Like, I was just
Yeah.
there, and him and Charlize Theron apparently did not get along. Apparently, he was being an asshole to her the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, and then like they literally didn't film many scenes together because they were just like, did not get along.
Yeah.
And for this film to come out to be what it is like a damn near miracle. And I just remember sitting in the theater, the movie just starts.
Yeah.
And then by the time you finally get to catch your breath, I had to look down on my watch. It was like 30 or 35 minutes in. Is where it finally you have a quiet moment. Yeah. Like it takes like 30 or 35 minutes for you just to kind of like, like exhale. Like it's fucking bananas. Like bananas on so many levels. I love this film. I was so excited to buy it on Blu-ray and I watched it so many times.
Yeah. Witness me.
Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah.
Like, dude. Like,
and
then like so many other actresses that are badass in this film. Like Charlize Theron killed it.
I think I'm gonna change your name on my phone and just call you Blood Bag. You're my blood bag.
I guess I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not.
Yeah, bro. You're replenishing. You're replenishing the blood. I just thought it was
back in the car.
It's a funny reference, bro.
No, it's funny.
I remember like the guys in the poles. Dude, just the imagery, like what the? It is insane to think that way. Like come up with those solutions to those problems. They're like, how are we gonna get on this truck? How are we gonna do this? And then just like whatever. And then the guitar guy with the flamethrower, and they're like, I guess we need a soundtrack while we're invading fucking people. Like, dude, it was just nonstop action. And when I left, I was like, I was dumbfounded because I was just like, so much stuff was happening that it was overwhelming, and it took me a while to process everything.
It's so textured. Like when you go to like the Bullet Town people, they have like clothing made of bullets, and you're just like, and it's so intricate, and like you're like, God damn, like everything is so well designed and built. Like what's crazy is like years before they were even filming, like a year or two before they were filming, because it got false started so many times. My buddy was working over in Australia. He just happened to be on the lot. And they just happened to have to, like, he was next to like a warehouse where they're storing all the vehicles that they already built. They're just sitting there because they couldn't go film. And he got to like check them out, and he like texted me or something. He's like, dude, this is amazing. If they ever make this film, it's like, I think it's going to be amazing. And I was like, all right, I guess. And then like 4 years later, it comes out, and I was like, like, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, man. So follow that up, bitch.
A bit more of a melancholy. Watch Fury Road later. Yeah. It was a film me and you, I believe, watched together. In Children of Men.
Oh, dang. That's a good one. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's amazing. Like that film, like it'll touch you in so many areas.
Oh, that's a good one. I take it back.
So many ups and downs and like quiet moments that are beautiful amongst like horrific. Like, dude, the movie is like, I don't know what else to say. If you have not seen Children of Men, this movie is like, it's like one of the most amazing films ever made. Like, from like not just a storytelling human level, but like the technical level. Like, there's so many like 10-minute long single shots where you're just like, what the hell? Like, it's next level. It's next level filmmaking in like story wise. Everything just came together in this amazing thing. And this is like, I don't know, it's easily like a top 20 film for me of all time. Right? It's so good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll watch it together.
Yeah. I just remember that car chase scene where the camera was inside and it was spinning.
That's
oh my God, bro. I remember I was like white knuckling the fucking seat. Like, oh my God, are they going to get away? I was so nervous. They just put you in that world and stuff, and everybody involved. Clive Owen, he did a great job, and Julianne Moore, and it was great, man. It was great. It was a fantastic. For a while, that one was like in my top 10, just because of the experience I had watching it, and like,
dude, it was like mind blowing.
Yeah, it was mind blowing.
So many little things. Like so
that guy
many
was
little
dead and he
details.
had something to fight for. Kind of like Bill, you know? He was dead inside.
It was like, it's a beautiful film. I don't know. I mean, it's horrific, but beautiful at the same time. We're just like, wow. Like that film is, maybe follow up that film with Fury Road, because Fury Road will bring you on more of a high. Man.
Yeah, it gets you pumped up. But that was a good one, man. You followed it up, man. I apologize. Good job. All right,
then. Thank you. Finally, shit, apology. All right, man. Let's wrap us out of here. We went long today.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, that's our show. Thank you for listening to all of our nerd takes, all the wonderful suggestions. If you would like, please subscribe and comment and leave recommendations if you'd like. Are we missing anything? Let us know. I'm Francisco.
And I'm Andres.
Have a great week. 2 nerds, 1 pod. Let's go. Put it on the list.